Hey everyone, ready for another deep dive? Today we're looking at how chiropractors can thrive, even with all the insurance changes happening out there. We're digging into a conversation from the Twisty and the Spiz podcast. They had on Dr. Amanda, she's a chiropractor herself, but also a practice consultant. And get this, she's part of the Chiro Moguls team. She's got some seriously good advice for chiropractors, especially about reducing that reliance on insurance and still making a great practice.
I think what makes Dr. Amanda so interesting is she actually did this in her own WN practice first, got amazing results, and then decided to help others do the same.
Yeah, she's not just talking theory, she's been in the trenches. So, got to set the stage here. Things are changing with insurance for chiropractors, right? Like we're seeing less and less coverage for those chronic care cases, and that's forcing practices to adapt whether they like it or not.
And it's tricky because a lot of practices have relied on insurance for so long. Dr. Amanda was saying this new reality, it's tough to navigate.
Absolutely. Patients are used to things being a certain way too.
Yeah, for a long time, insurance covered tons of visits, especially for ongoing care. Now, things are way tighter. Especially with those CMS guidelines, they're putting stricter limits on how many visits get covered.
And that's like the gold standard, right? So it affects all the commercial insurance companies too.
Exactly, it's a ripple effect. So, chiropractors are having these tough talks with patients who just expect things to be like they used to be.
Makes sense. It's hard to change overnight. So I'm curious, how did Dr. Amanda deal with all this in her own practice?
Well, she did something pretty amazing. She took her practice from being over 80% reliant on insurance down to, get this, between 18% and 19%.
Whoa, that's a huge EE drop.
Right. And this all happened in about a year and a half, maybe 2 years tops.
So clearly she wasn't just turning away patients who had insurance. There's got to be a strategy there.
Oh, there definitely is. She found ways to transition those patients to other payment models.
That's smart, but I'm betting that took some serious work. What was her secret sauce?
Honestly, a big part of it was communication. Dr. Amanda is all about being upfront and honest with her patients.
Transparency, right?
Exactly. She explains the insurance guidelines really clearly.
So no surprises for the patient down the line.
Exactly. And then she lays out the treatment plan. And she's very clear about costs from the very beginning.
That makes so much sense. You got to set those expectations early.
It's crucial. It builds trust.
But I'm guessing it's not just about talking to the patients, right? The whole team needs to be on board with this new approach.
Oh, absolutely. You hit the nail on the head there. Dr. Amanda really stresses how important it is to have everyone trained up, give them the documentation they need, the whole 9 yards.
So everyone, front desk, billing, everyone's on the same page.
Yep, everyone needs to understand these changes and be able to communicate them clearly so it's consistent.
I bet that was a big task, getting everyone up to speed.
It was, but Dr. Amanda is super organized. She even created scripts for her staff and made sure they all got training on how to explain these new procedures.
I bet that helped the staff feel more confident too.
It did. They knew exactly what to say and how to handle those tricky questions.
And smart, it makes the whole transition so much smoother.
It really does. Everyone's working together.
So what I'm hearing is communication is key, both with patients and with your own team.
Absolutely. That's Dr. Amanda's biggest takeaway, I think. Clear, consistent communication is at the heart of it all.
Love that. Makes a ton of sense. But there's got to be more to the story, right? I mean, transitioning payment models, that's a whole other beast.
Oh, yeah, we're just getting started. There are some really interesting specifics about how Dr. Amanda did it.
Okay, I'm all ears.
Well, one thing she found was that this whole shift away from insurance, it actually made her practice more profitable in the long run.
Now that's interesting. I would have thought the opposite.
Me too, but she explains why it works.
Okay, tell me everything. I need to know this.
Well, it all comes down to those alternative payment models. Things like wellness plans, supportive care packages, those kinds of things.
So moving away from the per-visit insurance model.
Exactly. And this is where the staff training comes in again, because they need to be comfortable explaining those options to patients, highlighting the benefits and all that.
I bet that was a mindset shift for the staff too.
Oh, for sure. They're not just handling billing anymore. They're like ambassadors for this new way of approaching care.
That's a great way to put it. I love that.
Dr. Amanda even has a specific script she uses when she presents these self-pay options.
Well, that's smart, having a framework to follow.
And it's not just about the logistics, it's about conveying the value, like how consistent care leads to better results, how it allows for more personalized attention, and how patients have more freedom to choose what they need.
Without being limited by insurance rules.
Exactly. Dr. Amanda has really thought this through, hasn't she?
Oh, 100%. She's not just saying change. She's giving you the how-to guide.
And she's walking the walk herself, remember?
Yeah, that's what makes her advice so
Yeah.
powerful.
She's not just identifying the holes in the bucket, those areas where practices are losing money or struggling. She's giving you the tools to plug those leaks. Systems, strategies, training, the whole package.
So chiropractors listening to this who are feeling kind of overwhelmed by all the insurance changes,
They don't have to be.
Dr. Amanda's like, hey, I've been there, done that, and here's how you can do it too.
Exactly. And the best part is she's living proof that it works.
That's inspiring.
Like, she's got this thriving practice. She takes Fridays off. She travels with her husband. She even delegates the onboarding of new staff. Can you believe that?
Wow, that's the dream. To have that kind of freedom and flexibility.
Right. It's what so many chiropractors want.
So did she share any insights into how she structured her practice to make that happen?
Oh, yeah. She's all about systems.
System.
From scheduling and billing to patient communication and follow-up, everything is streamlined. It's like a well-oiled machine.
That's got to free up so much time and mental energy.
It does. It lets her focus on the big picture.
And it probably means things run smoothly even when she's not there.
Exactly. That's the beauty of it.
Okay, but I'm also thinking about the nitty-gritty. Like, there are probably specific forms and procedures that need to change, especially when you're transitioning patients away from that traditional insurance coverage.
You're right. That's a crucial part of it. And it's another area where Dr. Amanda shines. She's got all the details covered.
So she's not just saying ditch insurance. She's giving you a practical framework to make that shift ethically and smoothly.
That's exactly it. She's all about doing things the right way.
So spill the beans. What are some of the steps she recommends?
Well, first off, she says don't go cold turkey, especially if your practice is really dependent on insurance right now.
That makes sense. You got to ease into it.
Right. It's about gradually transitioning patients.
From that insurance-covered active care to self-pay wellness or supportive care.
Exactly. It's like building a bridge for them.
So they don't feel like they're being left behind.
That's a great way to put it. You don't want them to feel abandoned.
So this is where that clear communication comes in again, right?
Oh, absolutely. More important than ever. Dr. Amanda says you got to really explain the benefits of these self-pay options.
Like how they can get more personalized care, more consistent care.
And how it empowers them to take control of their health.
It's about shifting that mindset from treating pain when it pops up to proactive care for the long haul.
Exactly. It's about long-term well-being, not just putting out fires.
And that ties back to Dr. Amanda's whole philosophy, right?
Patient empowerment, 100%.
She wants patients to know they have choices, that they're not stuck with whatever insurance dictates,
Right.
that they can actively participate in their healthcare decisions.
And that's a win-win, don't you think?
Totally. Patients have more control, and chiropractors build better practices.
Practices that are more sustainable, more profitable, more aligned with their values.
That's what makes Dr. Amanda's approach so exciting.
It's not a quick fix, it's a whole new way of thinking.
So for any chiropractors listening who are feeling inspired by all of this, what's the best way for them to connect with Dr. Amanda and dive deeper?
Well, she's part of Chiromoguls, right? And they
Yeah.
offer these mogul one-on-one sessions.
Like a personal consultation?
Yeah, kind of like a discovery call.
You get to chat with Dr. Amanda directly about your practice, your goals, your challenges, all that good stuff.
It's like having a mentor in your corner.
And I bet she can help them pinpoint those holes in the bucket
Oh, absolutely. She's got a knack for that.
and then give them those tailored strategies to fix them.
To build a practice that truly thrives.
It's amazing that she's not only figured all this out herself, but she's made a system to share it with others
It shows how much she cares about the profession.
and about helping other chiropractors succeed.
And hey, if Dr. Amanda can achieve this level of success...
What's stopping anyone else?
That's the question, isn't it?
Makes you think.
It does. It's inspiring.
So I think the big takeaway here is this. The insurance landscape is changing. But it doesn't have to be a scary thing.
It can actually be an opportunity.
To rethink your business model, to build stronger relationships with your patients, to create a practice that truly reflects your vision.
And if you're ready to embrace that change...
Dr. Amanda and Chiromoguls are the perfect partners to have on your side.
Couldn't agree more.
All right, folks, another deep dive done. Hope you got a ton of value out of this one.
It's been a pleasure chatting with you about it.
And remember, if Dr. Amanda can do it, so can you.
Until next time, keep learning, keep growing, and keep diving deep. You know what's interesting, though? When they started moving away from insurance, it was actually the staff who felt the biggest impact at first.
Oh, really? Why is that?
Well, think about it. Insurance billing, it can be so complex. And the staff, they've been doing it a certain way for years, it becomes routine. Then suddenly, everything
They're
changes.
being asked to do things differently.
Exactly. Explaining these new payment models, dealing with confused patients, it's a lot to adjust to.
Makes sense. There's probably some anxiety that comes with that.
Oh, absolutely.
So how did Dr. Amanda deal with that staff anxiety?
She was really proactive. She involved the staff in the whole process right from the start. Explained why they were making the shift, what the benefits would be.
For both the practice and the patients.
Exactly. Everyone wins in the end. And of course, she made sure they were fully trained on the new procedures.
So they felt equipped to handle it all.
Yeah, she gave them the knowledge and the tools to be confident.
I bet those scripts and procedures we talked about really helped.
Oh, for sure. Having those clear guidelines made a huge difference. But she also stressed the importance of consistent communication.
So everyone's on the same page.
Exactly. Everyone's using the same language, presenting a unified front.
That's so important. You don't want patients getting mixed messages.
It creates confusion, undermines trust.
So this ties back to those alternative payment models we were talking about.
Like those wellness plans, supportive care packages. Dr. Amanda found her practice actually became more profitable with those.
Interesting. How does that work?
Well, for one thing, patients are coming in more consistently. They've bought into the package, they're committed to their care. But the staff, they need to be comfortable explaining those options, right? Highlighting the benefits and all that.
Yeah, they're not just handling billing anymore. They're almost like salespeople.
That's a good way to put it. They're selling a new way of approaching care.
A more proactive approach.
Exactly. And Dr. Amanda, she even has the script she uses when she presents these self-pay options to patients.
Oh, I love that. Having a framework to follow.
It helps her stay on track and emphasize the key points.
So it's not just about explaining the logistics. It's about selling the value.
Right, like how consistent care leads to better results, how it allows for more personalized attention, and how it gives patients more freedom to choose the treatments that are right for them.
Without being limited by insurance rules.
Exactly. You see how she's thought this through.
Oh, absolutely. She's got it all mapped out. It's like she's giving you the blueprint for success.
And remember, she's not just talking about it, she's living it.
Yeah, that's what makes it so compelling.
She's identified those holes in the bucket, those areas where practices are struggling, and she's providing the solutions, the systems, the training.
So you can plug those leaks and build a thriving practice. That's a powerful message for chiropractors who are feeling overwhelmed right now.
For sure, there's a lot of change happening in the industry.
But Dr. Amanda is like a beacon of hope. She's
Right.
saying, hey, I figured it out, and you can too.
And she's proof that it's possible to build a practice that's both profitable and personally fulfilling,
That's the dream, right?
to have that freedom and flexibility to enjoy your work and your life.
So did she share any specifics about how she structured her practice to make that happen?
Absolutely. One of her big things is systems.
Okay, tell me more.
Everything is systematized, streamlined, from scheduling and billing to patient communication and follow-up.
That makes sense. It's like a well-oiled machine
Exactly, and that frees up her time and mental energy.
to focus on the things that really matter,
And it means things run smoothly even when she's not there.
which is a big deal when you want to take Fridays off or travel with your husband.
Exactly, it's about building a practice that works for you.
Yeah, that makes sense. Having systems is key. But what about the specifics of transitioning patients? Like, I'm thinking about those forms and procedures. They probably need to change too, especially when you're moving away from traditional insurance.
Oh yeah, you're totally right. And that's another thing I love about Dr. Amanda. She's got it all covered.
She's not just saying ditch insurance. She's giving you a practical roadmap.
Exactly, a step-by-step guide to make that transition ethically and smoothly.
So tell me, what are some of the things she recommends?
Well, for starters, she says don't go cold turkey, especially if your practice is heavily reliant on insurance right now.
That makes sense. You got to ease into it.
Right, it's about gradually transitioning those patients over time.
From insurance-covered active care to those self-pay options, like wellness plans or supportive care.
Exactly, and this is where communication becomes super important.
You're building a bridge for them, right?
Yeah, you don't want patients to feel like they're being left behind.
So you got to explain the benefits of these self-pay options.
How they can actually get more personalized care, more consistent care, how it gives them more control over their health journey.
It's about shifting that mindset, right? From treating pain when it pops up to being proactive.
Exactly. It's about long-term well-being, not just putting out fires.
And that ties back to Dr. Amanda's philosophy, patient empowerment.
100%. She wants patients to know they have choices.
that they're not stuck with whatever insurance will or won't cover. They can be active participants in their healthcare.
And that's a win-win for everyone.
Totally. Patients have more control. Chiropractors can build better practices.
More sustainable, more profitable, more aligned with their values.
So for chiropractors listening who are feeling inspired, how can they connect with Dr. Amanda, learn more about her methods?
The best way is through Chiromoguls.
They have a website.
Yeah, and they offer these one-on-one sessions with Dr. Amanda.
Oh, that's cool, like a personal consultation.
Yeah, you can talk to her directly about your practice, your goals, your challenges.
It's like having a mentor in your corner
Exactly. She'll help you identify those holes in the bucket.
and give you the strategies to fix them. Build a practice that really thrives. It's amazing that she's not only figured this all out herself, but she's created a system to share it with others
It shows how passionate she is about the profession.
and about helping other chiropractors succeed.
And, you know, if Dr. Amanda can achieve this level of success,
What's stopping anyone else?
that's the question, isn't it?
So the big takeaway here is the changing insurance landscape. It doesn't have to be a scary thing.
It can be an opportunity.
To rethink your business model, build stronger patient relationships, create a practice that really reflects your vision.
And if you're ready for that,
Dr. Amanda and Chiro Moguls, they're the perfect partners to have.
couldn't agree more.
All right, folks, that's another deep dive in the books. We hope you found this one insightful and inspiring.
It's been a pleasure as always.
And remember, if Dr. Amanda can do it, so can you.
Until next time, keep learning, keep growing, and keep diving deep.